Hello and welcome to another update video about LINK. On the LINK chart, we can see that the market actually followed the proposed micro structure quite well. The market showed us a three-wave pullback after the 12th or 11th of November high, then a corrective rally into our resistance area, pretty much into the midst of it. I count that as a B wave, reacted where it needed to, and then actually showed us the 5-wave move to the downside, which actually is a pretty clear 5-wave move to the downside, which I would call complete. The question is now just, okay, we have an ABC structure to the downside. Is this already the complete correction, which is possible due to the high B wave? It's not needed for the C wave to end below the A wave. That's what we constantly addressed here on this channel. It would be preferable, but it's absolutely not needed. You get there is a so-called running flat structure. In a so-called running flat, you would not expect the C wave to move below the A wave low. And these running flats need a high B wave. So it's just something we always have to consider. Would have liked to see the price get to at least the 100% extension. That's a very common target for a C wave, but it's not an absolute must. So structure is also important. So what we are watching for is potentially a turning point down here, after 5 waves down were complete. But I cannot confirm it at this stage. Price action is too weak, and also because we haven't reached the ideal targets, the extended ABC structure I showed you here already yesterday is also an option. So what does that mean? That means that this entire structure that I've shown you here could simply transform into a W, X, Y structure, and the Y wave is an A, B, C structure. That wouldn't be bearish, it would just fill in this overall corrective pattern a little bit better. We would have a bit more of an extended correction and also a more clear bottoming structure if that last wave down ends below that first wave down. But as I said, we have one corrective structure technically complete. And that means as a corrective cycle is complete, it's a pretty clear 3-wave move. And in the last wave down, that C wave, we have 5 waves down. That means we have one corrective pattern. Think of it as a structure is complete. The market will now decide if that's already enough to start the 5th wave. And we've already seen a bit of a movement there. But we haven't taken any previous high out. So that will be the next task for the bulls. So we just need a little bit more patience, I guess, to figure out, okay, is the low already in? I am happy with the structure so far. It would just have been nice to reach the ideal target, or let's say the 100% extension, which is an ideal target for the C wave at least. There are always different ways of how you can calculate targets. But yeah, in the first instance, I would like to see a sustained break above $15.10. That would be the first indication that a low is formed, and maybe it's going to do something that we would consider an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So you've got here your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder. We've seen these recently on many crypto charts. Many of them, however, formed a very weak right shoulder or broke out directly. That's how bullish this market generally seems to be. It didn't even form the right shoulder. It didn't take any time, but maybe LINK will try that with a neckline around that $15.10 level. So that means if we see a horizontal resistance line approach here, and the price reacts to it, shows a higher low in a pullback, that could be our breakout point. But again, that would not be enough to really confirm that we're already rallying. It would, however, it would add to the thesis, it would give us some more confidence, but this could easily still be a B wave now. So that's what we just need to understand. Great way to approach it is still, in my opinion, with a grid bot, which I still have running. Obviously, the longer this correction goes, the higher probability is that it will finish soon. So my grid bot already worked through this entire range here, and I'd be happy either way. If it moves up in the B wave, then the grid bot will take partial profits, or breaking above the 1830 high, then I will switch it off and it will have taken more profits. So how to set up a grid bot, by the way, I've got a tutorial video. You just find it in the playlist, how to work with grid bots and Elliott wave, how to basically determine the range. you could try that, but make sure that you try it first before really using a lot of money. You need to figure out how a grid bot properly, works properly. But yeah, that's sort of my current assessment of the link chart. That means we still need to keep the door open for lower at this stage, especially as long as we haven't taken out any high. However, at some point it will get far more likely that the low is really in, and that would be with a break above, let me see, that would be a break above the 78.6 retrace. So once we get above $15.98, I would have to assume that the low is in, yeah? Because that would then be also too aggressive for a B wave. Oh, 1 second, no, I need to make sure that I don't, no, that's not correct. I get mixed up with all these waves here. It's a little higher. So $16.53. If we get a sustained break above that level, it would indicate that this is a bit too high for a standard B wave, so would shift probabilities towards, yeah, the low is in. That's my update about Link. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.